So we have Mr. Sanmay with us. He has completed his MSc, MBA, and LLB, as well as he is a certified master trainer from National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Hyderabad, and also he is certified master trainer in family managed business from Asian Institute of Family Managed Business, Mumbai. With this, I would like to invite Mr. Sanmay to present his talk, and I am sharing my screen so that we can see the PPT. Okay, can you
Okay.
see it now?
Yeah, yeah. I believe everyone is able to watch all the
Yes,
slides.
yes, 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 yes. It's perfectly visible.
Okay, fine. So
Visible,
thank you,
visible.
Pratik, and thank you, Cognition is Tool, for such a wonderful opportunity to share the platform with Professor Dr. Sushant Kumar Mishra. Because Professor Dr. Sushant Kumar Mishra is almost my management guru in the whole process. So he has almost covered most of the aspects of entrepreneurship and family managed business, because family managed business and entrepreneurship are almost equal, because you need the qualities of an entrepreneur when you are again thinking of managing a family run business or a family controlled business. So I'll just try to evaluate a few more points. So setting aside all this theoretical framework, we can just go for our session's objectives. So moderator, I would like to request you to please go for slide number 2. Okay. So today's session would be for another 30 minutes. So I would like to discuss, I won't take much of your valuable time. In fact, I would like to summarize the whole process. So the objective is all about the VIMOSA. VIMOSA stands for Vision, Mission, Strategy, Objectives, and Action Plan, because for success, I believe you need three things. One is a definite goal or a concrete goal, and second one is a strategy to achieve that goal, and third one would be probably an action plan actually. So we'll be discussing the Vimosa for family managed business. That is point number 1, and there are so many other pointers which you can of course see, but I would like to go for only important points. So as far as my knowledge goes, I was actually a few days back, before this particular session, I was preparing for this particular session, and I just came to know that right now the concept of lifelong employability has actually faded away. So there is no lifelong employability right now. So everywhere you'll be finding, there are so many options with entrepreneurship, or find options like, work from home. So these are some of the options which are right now available. So the entire economy has been converted into a knowledge economy, or all I can say gig economy, where you'll be only finding options with temporary positions. So we, in short, all I can conclude that we have two different options. Either we can be a job creator, or we can always go for a job seeker. So let's talk about creating some opportunities for others also. So first and foremost, most important point would be, as far as it is family managed business is concerned, would be family. Family is all about a kind of love and compassion, a kind of emotional support you will be getting from the rest of the family members. It's all about creating a kind of theoretical framework where two different aspects play a very important role. One aspect would be, I believe, socialism, and second one aspect will be the meritocracy, because it's all about inheritance. It's all about equalities. Even if your father is the CEO of that particular company, he always remains your father. So automatically, when you are actually planning to join the hands under the shadow of your father, obviously you are entitled for so many different aspects of your family. Because in India, you'll be finding, like, most of the cases I've seen, like, the family managed businesses do not go beyond second generation. I feel why all these businesses fail, either we are overdoing or we are actually underdoing the entire process. So we need to understand what are the qualities most specifically needed for managing our family run business, which is again totally controlled by our own family. So family is very important, because in family two things need to be there. Two things, mostly it is all about bond and blood. So there must be a good kind of bonding, and blood relationship should be points which you need to take care. And more or less, I believe family governance is very important, because you won't find the businesses of 80s or 90s right now operating in Indian market, because they didn't have the right kind of governance. So for managing a family, when again our family is into family managed business, we must have certain kind of rules and regulations, certain kind of mechanisms, certain kind of policies, certain kind of documentation, and certain kind of written down plan actually. Otherwise, your family managed business is bound to again fail, because if you do not take care of certain written down plans and policies, or if you do not have a vision, mission, strategy, objective, and action plan, obviously it is going to fail. So a kind of emotional support obviously you'll be getting, because your share is always intact, but you should be prepared for a different kind of mindset, because you are again, as Sushant sir told, you are again not choosing the life of a job holder. You are actually choosing the life of a businessman, and maybe from outside the life of a businessman looks very classy, but in reality the life is very difficult, because life will put you into struggles, challenges, difficulties, heartbreaks, pains, lots of other issues, and you have to deal with that. So preparing mindset is the first and foremost important part when actually you are thinking of joining hands under the shadow of your father or shadow of your uncle, who is actually managing your family managed business for the past 30 years. Your father may not be the professor, but he has got that ability to earn money. He has really earned money. So you need to work as a driver of your father, or you need to work as an opinion seeker to your father. So opinion seeker in the sense you cannot be a consultant to your father. You have to learn from his collective wisdom. So that is the most important thing. So as far as the family part is concerned, one is governance, and second one is probably a kind of emotional rapport with your family members. These are the two factors which normally would help you in successfully managing the family managed business to the next level, because whenever you are joining again, you won't like to join a very traditional business. Obviously you'd like to take up your family managed business to the next level, like Azim Premji, because Azim Premji joined Wipro at the age of 21, and his father was into oil business. They were actually manufacturing refined oil, but later on, Azim Premji thought of diversifying his business into this computer technology or software development. Right now, you can see the results. He had a vision. He had a definite mission. He was having a goal set. He was having a concrete strategy. And finally, Azim Premji is a very well-known figure in the field of software development. So this is what actually you need to do. First, you need to join under the shadow of your father, then you can take up that business to the next level. That should be your motto whenever you are thinking of joining your own family managed business. That's number one. And second, when we are talking about the business, obviously business is all about entrepreneurship. You should have certain qualities of an entrepreneur, what Professor Dr. Sushant Mishra actually highlighted. You should be prepared for this VUCA world, because business is all about managing the standard operating procedures. If you can manage the standard operating procedures in certain concrete way, then definitely your business will give you a kind of profitability as well as scalability. Because for any business to survive and thrive in this market, you must have two different things. One is profitability, and second one is scalability. So that is what you need to do. And third one would be ownership. When we talk about ownership, it is all about responsibility. It is all about accountability. You cannot just make your employees accountable, because you are the owner and you will be the final responsible person for all ifs and buts and all positive and negative outcomes. So you have to groom people whenever you are again becoming an owner. So you have to groom others. You have to identify the average people, and you have to groom them from good to great. So that should be your responsibility. So family is all about governance, and second, business is all about entrepreneurship, and ownership would be all about managing people and grooming people, because grooming people is very important. You have to groom people and you have to make them leaders actually. Until and unless you convert your employees into entrepreneurs, you have to do everything actually. As an owner, as a traditional business, again you have to do everything, and your company will be again regarded as a Lala company, because there are two companies, two kinds of companies in fact I had identified while going through all these slides. One is the professional company, second one is the Lala company. Lala company is very you can say, a very self-centered company where they actually do not think about the growth of an employee. So you need to give your employees the proper growth, proper grooming, and your prime responsibility as an owner is to create, people like you. That should be your motto. So next slide, please. So we need to create a kind of failure-proof strategy for this COVID era. COVID, as Sushant sir has pointed out, it is no longer COVID for us. It is all about creating opportunities by visioning, introspecting, and discovering. So we have to have a concrete vision. We should introspect what went wrong and what could have been done, and we must discover new opportunities. So almost all I can say by 2022. 133 million new jobs would be created by this fourth industrial revolution. So right now it is 2020. We are almost in the mid of another crisis, which is known as your global reskilling crisis or global reskilling emergency, where we need to again, go for intentional learning. So intentional learning is something where you are actually treating every experience as an opportunity to learn. So I would suggest it's a fundamental skill where we need to treat every experience as an exposure, or it may be a negative experience, it may be a positive experience, but as an entrepreneur or as a family managed business professional, it should be your prime responsibility to learn, unlearn, and relearn, new skills. Otherwise, we can be the next Nokia or we can be the next BlackBerry, because they could not adopt this Android system. That's why they have actually faded away in the market. And again, Nokia is coming back with some new features. So that is a different ball game altogether. But intentional learning is very important for every one of us, where we must, treat every experience, be it negative or positive, as an opportunity to learn. So that should be your failure-proof strategy. I would like to suggest you should go for intentional learning. It's a fundamental skill. It's a core skill, and it comprises of taking every experience or taking every things as an opportunity. So you have to convert the negative incidents into positive incidents. You can obviously calculate about your negative exposures, but you cannot stay negative for all the time. You have to again come out of that negative situation, and you need to convert your negativity. You have to be a possibility scanner, all I can say. So you should find out possibilities within the adversities. So that should be your motto. That should be your strategy for this COVID era. So next slide, please. So team, again, as we discussed, obviously when you are managing a family managed business, you have a team. Actually, the team would be mostly comprising of two different categories of people. One category would be your family members, and second category would be obviously non-family members. So whenever you are managing this team, more specifically, it's all about people management. You have to manage people, you have to manage platforms, you have to manage technology, you have to manage everything in this world. Actually, the world will give you so many bumps. You have to accept all these bumps with grace. So managing people is probably, I believe, is the most difficult affair in this world, because your again profitability, your scalability, everything depends upon these people. If these people are again going to perform, then definitely you will be getting that profitability. So you have to groom all your people, you have to manage your whole team. Team is all about together everyone achieves more. So together we can achieve obviously a lot more things. So this is all about managing the team. So obviously whenever you are managing the team, you should go for a SWOT analysis. You must identify what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses of a particular employee, or what are the strengths and weaknesses of your family member. Then according to that, you can just give those tasks where they can actually complete as per their strengths. So that is the number one thing you need to do. You need to go for a SWOT analysis of your whole business, and obviously SWOT analysis for all the people associated with you. You can even go for SWOT analysis of your suppliers. You can also go for SWOT analysis of the people. You can also go for the SWOT analysis of your customers. So whenever you are choosing a job, you have only one boss. But I believe whenever you are choosing entrepreneurship or you are choosing family managed businesses, you have three bosses. One is your supplier, second one again is your customer, and third one will be probably your employees. So you have three bosses. You need to manage all these three bosses. So that's again the beauty of managing a family managed business, or that's again the beauty of managing entrepreneurship. So this is what you need to do. You need to be a people's man. That is what I would be suggesting. So you must have a kind of, you know, emotional relationship with all your people, because it should not be always like a kind of transactional relationship. Because in most of the companies I've seen, like, I'm paying you salary, you have to, you know, give all these things as my return on investment. So you cannot be like a dictator. You should always groom your people. You should always, you know, give all your people a kind of happiness quotient. That is what you need to take care, because happiness, I believe, is the new richness. If I'm happy at work, then obviously I'm going to perform. So you have to create a kind of mechanism. You have to create a kind of policy. You have to create a kind of environment altogether where people would be happy to work under you as, you know, owners, mini owners, or as entrepreneurs, I can say, because entrepreneurs normally do not leave their companies at 5 o'clock. They leave when the task is actually complete. So next slide, please. So the main aim should be, like, you know, for every businessman, as we know, money is brighter than sunshine and sweeter than honey. Everyone wants money, because money and financial success, I believe, these are the two very important parameters for every one of us. I may be a job holder, I may be an entrepreneur, but money is my ultimate goal. For that, actually, I am again joining my family managed business. But money should not be the sole goal. Money is actually a byproduct of whatever I am doing. If the process can be corrected, obviously we can get, you know, lots of money. So we must think of creating values. We must think of creating ethics in our business system itself, so that the inflow of money can be, you know, more better in the future days. And more or less, I believe, apart from, you know, drawing money, you should have another goal, because your life doesn't belong to you only. It is actually a part of the whole universe. So whenever you find an opportunity to pay back to the universe, you must go for that, because you have certain societal responsibilities apart from your responsibilities towards yourself or towards your family. So normally a man is having three different categories of responsibilities. One is responsibility towards oneself or himself, and second one is the responsibility towards his or her own family, and the final one would be, I believe, the responsibility towards the society. So you have two goals. One would be your financial success, and second one would be obviously, you know, paying back to the society. So that is what should be your aim and should be your purpose while managing any business setups. So next one, please, sir. So we need to create a road ahead, like, you know, as sir pointed out, like, we need to have a certain roadmap, and the roadmap, obviously, we need to take care of our products, we need to take care of our services, we need to take care of our, you know, technologies, everything we need to take care, because right now I believe technology has become omnipresent, and almost we are using, you know, technologies like anything. Everywhere you will be finding, you know, new terms like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, blockchain, then robotics, automation, your you know, digital printing is also there, 3D printing is also there. So many technologies are actually available in the market. But again, one thing is that, like, you know, whenever you are joining the hands in your family managed business, obviously you need to consult your father. If the technology is again viable for your own business, then obviously you can go for the technology. Your father will guide you, because your father will be the real mentor in any family managed business. So obviously you can take care of that. And most importantly, the you need to allure the customers, actually, because alluring the customers is very important, because your customers do not understand what products, services, and technologies you are actually offering. They only understand one thing: whether after using your products and services, their lives are getting better or not. So that is most important for alluring any, you know, customers. You have to convert your customers into lazy customers, actually. So if you want lifetime customers, then obviously you have to make them lazy, actually. So that is very important. So most importantly, you need to take care of sales, and you need to take care of your customers, and you need to take care of your suppliers, you need to take care of your employees. So this is actually the road ahead. I'll not go deep into it. So next slide, please. So one more important point I would like to highlight is all about business essentials. Business essentials, in the sense, we need to take care of the business environment. But because whenever I am, again, you know, managing my own setup, obviously my profitability and my scalability, my sellability, all these factors again are dependent upon the environmental analysis. So we have to go for an environmental analysis. We need to take care of the political environment. We need to take care of the economic environment. We need to take care of the sociological environment. We need to take care of technological, legal, and the general environment. So this is all about PESTLE. We need to go for PESTLE analysis. And apart from that, as a businessman, since you are again a owner of that particular setup, obviously you have to learn Excel. I'm not telling you have to work like a pro. At least the minimum basics you should understand regarding Excel or advanced Excel. And more or less you need to manage the loans actually, because many business people, they think loan is bad because they had a very horrible experience in the past, so they had that kind of judgmental mindset. So you need to take care of the loans, you need to take care of the resources, you need to take care of the time value of money and liabilities. So these are some things which are very, very important for any business professional or any businessman who wants to operate in this VUCA environment. So next one. And right now, since there are so many social media platforms available, I would say you can always go for any social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I believe, is one of the most important platforms where you automatically get connected to so many genuine consulting, because from outside, if you are again hiring a consultant, they will charge you. But in LinkedIn, you will be finding there are so many people who are actually giving all these services, absolutely free of cost. So LinkedIn is a professional platform. You need to create a page and you need to take care of your personal branding. And more specifically, I would suggest every one of you to go for a LinkedIn profile, which should be from again good to great. It should be a business profile, and you must create content, because approximately 660 million people are there in LinkedIn. And out of those 660 million people, you'll be finding only 1% or max to max 5 to 10% people are actually creating content. Because content, I believe earlier it was regarded as the king and queen, but right now I believe content is the whole kingdom. So we need to create content, because whatever we are creating today, we are actually not creating it for only today. We are creating it for the ages to come. So whenever you are uploading something over LinkedIn, then definitely you need to take care of that content aspect. That content should be appealing to your customers, and that content should be relevant, so that your customer again buys products and services from you. You need to be little different from others, so you have to create a kind of competitive advantage while creating a kind of content. So please take care of all these factors, because you need to have a guru, you need to have a maestro, you need to have an advisor, because advisor is very important, I believe. Let us go back to Mahabharata times. In Mahabharata times, you'll be finding there were two parties. One, Kauravas were there, and second party was Pandavas. So again, what happened finally? Kauravas were actually mentored by Sakuni, and Pandavas were mentored by Lord Krishna. So ultimately, Kauravas lost everything, and these Pandavas gained everything. So it's very important. So try to go for some genuine consulting agencies who can guide you. Try to connect all these people, through different platforms, and if possible, you can also connect physically, because physical connection is better, I believe, because whenever we are again talking something on online platform, that is a separate ball game altogether, because we are using technology and it has become easier for us to connect to anyone. But physical connection or face to face is more important, because you have to discuss so many different aspects of your business lingo. So please try to connect with some genuine consulting agencies, and also you can create a great LinkedIn profile. And apart from that, you can always go for these two dating sites. I believe one is Facebook and second one is Instagram. You can just touch the general customers. You can create profiles over these two platforms. But I believe in the ages to come, again, these two platforms are going to fade away from the market, because anybody can upload any content, and it is probably a kind of platform like it is a content efficient platform, because the consumers are less, and again the content is more in case of your Instagram and Facebook. But LinkedIn is a content deficient platform, because the content is less and the consumers are again very, very high. So mostly LinkedIn is used by people from United States and India. So please take care of your LinkedIn profile. Please connect with some good consulting houses so that they can solve your worries or solve your problems. So next slide, please. So we have two options when we are again thinking about managing our own family managed business. We have two different markets actually. One is an existing market, and second one is a new market. Whenever we are again operating in an existing market, we can go for improvements, because improvements can help us in a kind of differentiation. And obviously, whenever you are targeting a new market, you can always go for certain kinds of innovation, because in a new market actually innovative practices are highly required. So for a new market, I would suggest you go for some innovations. And in an existing market, you can always improve your product, service, supply chain, or anything that you would like to improve. So next slide, please. So there are certain golden rules. Like I have actually categorized all these golden rules. It may be appropriate for you, or it may not be appropriate for you. But most importantly, as far as the family managed business is concerned, it is written on Hindi actually. दूसरों का दुख दूर करने में ही अपना कल्याण है. That means you need to solve the worries of your customers, or you need to solve the pain points of your customer, because ultimately your responsibility is to clear out the pain points. So that should be your first golden rule. And second one is LLE to LLL. As I quoted, the concept of lifelong employability has faded away. So right now there is again lifelong learning, and learning is very important for any one of us. We must learn and we must upgrade ourselves. Then obviously, whenever you are trying something, you are bound to fail, because there is a law called law of wasted efforts, where normally if you can see any animal like the king lion, then lion fails approximately for 70 times whenever actually a lion is catching its food. So every creature in this world knows about this law of wasted efforts, but as a human being, as an evolved creature in this world, we do not understand this policy of failure. We believe we should be successful in at least one or two attempts. So that sort of mindset again needs to be changed. You must try and fail. You must next time you should again better try and better fail, because failure, I believe, is a part of success. It's a pillar of success, and fail is all about first attempt in learning. So I have segregated this particular term into all this terminology. Like fail is all about first attempt in learning. So you must try and you must fail, because ultimately all your goals can only be achieved if you can learn from your failures. So that is what actually is another golden rule. And but you must always think of one adage like falling down is an accident, but staying down is your choice. You can always fall down, but you should not stay down with that negativity. You should come out of that negativity, as I suggested you earlier. So this is another golden rule. And you should have a laser sharp focus, because until and unless you have that role clarity and goal clarity, it will be very difficult. Because if you do not understand your own goals and own rules, then it will be very difficult on your part to manage your business setups. So next slide, please. So persistence and resilience, these are very important these days, because we are again facing this global pandemic, where there are no clues regarding what will happen to Indian economy. So you should have that resilience with us. Then lack of enthusiasm, I believe it's a kind of if you are lacking with this particular term called enthusiasm, you will be like a deflated tire. So deflated tire cannot move on until it is replaced. So that is what enthusiasm has to be there. And again, when you are thinking of doing your family managed business, you have a career for another 40 years. I say, if suppose you are right now at 20, you have to manage this particular, because there is no hire and fire in family managed business. You cannot fire your family members. That is the beauty of this family managed business. So again, if you are thinking about joining hands under the shadow of your uncle or father, you have another career span of 40 years. So during that 40 years, this pace has to be maintained, this enthusiasm has to be maintained. And you just find out this Akunis and Mantharas, as I told you, who is your advisor. That is very important. You can always talk to Sushant sir, you can always talk to the delegates of Cognition E School, the counselors of Cognition E School. You can talk to me also. You can talk to anybody. You can talk to your father. You can talk to your professor. But find out the right kind of mentor. That is what I would be suggesting to every one of you. Just stay away from those drama queens and stay away from those naysayers who are again demotivating you from achieving your own goal. So just create a kind of bridge between you and those people. So network is again your strength. You have to create a kind of network. A solid network needs to be created. You have to build a network of your customers, and it should be very, very powerful, and it should be very, very dynamic. Like you must have a powerful network. You must have a dynamic network, so that you can really gel well in this VUCA environment. So next slide, please. So as I was actually watching the speeches given by our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, Mr. Modi has actually, created a new kind of policy which is known as Atmanirbhar Plus in 2020 for mitigating all these challenges of this global pandemic. And our Honorable Prime Minister was actually talking about collaboration and partnership with 100 plus countries like Russia, Germany, then Taiwan, just to dealing this Chinese dominance, because India will be partnering with 100 plus companies in future. Maybe in the month of January, India will be signing the MOUs. So right now, if you are again managing your family managed business locally, you can just think of opening outlets at Singapore or maybe Dubai, because in Dubai you'll be finding there is both ease of doing business and ease of starting business is there. But in India, I believe ease of doing business is there, but ease of starting business is not there, because I was reading so many things, and I just found out that buying a gun is probably more easier than opening a restaurant at New Delhi. If you want to open a restaurant at New Delhi, you will be requiring 46 different documents, and you need to go for this towel policy of the government. So government is again thinking of creating a kind of single window where all your problems will be solved. So Mr. Modi has got a vision, so he will be implementing so many different things. So Swadeshi movement has actually failed, because when you are again consuming and manufacturing products within your Indian boundaries, it will not help you to again go for that scalability. So as a part of scalability, you can always think of opening up new outlets or opening up new restaurants, or maybe opening up new business setups at foreign locations. But please make sure you must study the foreign laws, you must study the geopolitical environment of that particular country, so that it can be easier, because ultimately implementation is very important, because until and unless the plan has to be implemented, you cannot get success. So for getting huge success or exponential success, you should have the proper implementation. If at all you are thinking of opening a new setup at foreign locations, so foreign locations right now you can target, you should target also. Don't just limit yourself to the local boundaries or to the vicinity of your neighborhood. Go for some foreign locations. You can always make a R&D on that. What would be the suitable locations for you according to your business, you can decide. So, and most importantly, you need to meet successful entrepreneurs, because successful entrepreneurs are available. There are so many people who are actually successful. There are so many people who are again unsuccessful as an entrepreneur. So you must meet, so that you can get the right kind of thought process or right kind of reference point. Because whenever you are meeting somebody, you are actually meeting a book, I believe, and you cannot judge that particular book from its cover itself. So you should have some intensive discussion with all these budding entrepreneurs or all these successful entrepreneurs. That is what I would like to suggest all of you. And now let's take the example. As initially I quoted that any family managed business do not go beyond the second generation, but there is an exception, TVS Group. I am actually connected with this particular group, so I would like to give you the example of TVS Group. It was actually established in the year 1911, and right now it is run by the fourth generation. So the fourth generation people are there, who are actually managing all these 39,000 employees. And almost, if you can watch the annual turnover of this group, you will be finding it's more than even, because this is what actually they have shown in their balance sheet. The annual turnover is approximately 50,000 crores. That is what actually TVS Group is right now into. And I was talking to the top management, and I was having a question for them. I asked a simple question: suppose I am the son or daughter of the CEO of your company. Is it just a kind of passport for me to join your esteemed organization? They told no. Even if you are the son of our CEO, or even if you are the son or daughter of our senior directors, you have to qualify for that particular position. So they hire from family members, they as well as hire from non-family members. So education is probably only parameter to join this previous group, because you'll be finding all the family members are highly educated. They are again educated from different foreign universities. They have done so many different courses. So that kind of value, that kind of ethics should be there into your business, because you have to identify, like, they quoted, like, if you are a non-performing family member, again, your share is intact, you will get your share, but will not involve you in this decision making process. So that is very important. While succession planning, the leader must identify who is the right person. If his son is the right person in this decision making process, obviously his son has to be given all powers. Otherwise, if he finds someone else from outside, he should involve that particular person in decision making, because normally the family managed businesses fail because of many factors, because they lack leadership and long term vision. They lack succession planning. They do not go for proper wealth management. They do not go for dividend distribution. If the dividend distribution will not be there, then obviously there will be a conflict while entry and exit. Suppose one particular family member again wants to exit out of your business, there will be conflict. Like in the past we have seen there was a conflict between Mukesh Ambani and your Anil Ambani. So Mukesh Ambani has actually learned from that mistake of his father. So he has created a kind of family council, so that all the stakeholders will be again working in harmony. So that is what you need to create. You need to have certain written down plans regarding entry and exit. You need to have written down plans regarding succession planning. You need to have written down plans regarding leadership qualities. So for everywhere, you must create a kind of process so that your family managed business can be successful. Even if it is appointing a dealer, you must have certain standard operating procedures related to that. And the standard operating procedures must contain the timelines and must contain the actors and the time of completion. Because until unless you put a kind of timeline to your entire documentation procedure, it will not help you in gelling through. So with this, I would like to rest my opinion, and now it's over to Cognition School for the question and answer round. So last but not the least, I would like to conclude. You must have that kind of mindset, because mindset is very important, because you are not again choosing a very comfortable life. You are actually choosing a very difficult life. So as a businessman, you should be prepared for that, and you should prepare for the challenges. But don't just stay with all these negativities. Just get out of all these negativities, so that you can have a real exponential growth in future. So I wish you all the best. Even if you are a job seeker, or even if you are a job creator, whatever you are planning to do in future, I wish you all the best. You should have immunity building kind of strategy again, because right now it is corona going on, and we are not aware about what will happen to us in the future. So we must have the certain kind of immunity within us. And thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for bearing me. So now it's over to Cognition School. With this, I would like to rest my case.
Thank you for this wonderful talk, and the way you started from the VMOSA to SWOT analysis to the importance of family in your business. And actually, you gave a new perspective to this entrepreneurship, or you can say the family managed entrepreneurship. And the way you connected the examples of Mahabharat to the family businesses, that was really awesome. And I think that would have helped the participants here.